Hello, and welcome to the Iaconian Archives. I am the archivist, your host and reader. In this episode, I will be sharing an excerpt from Couples Night by author Neveralarch, a comedic tale starring Whirl and Brainstorm from the IDW G1 reboot comics. This story could also be considered the unintentional prequel to Remember the Night by author Metanoiac, an excerpt of which I have also featured here on the Iaconian Archives. So pour yourself a glass of Swerve's Best, get comfortable at your console or in your berth, close your optics, and let's enter the archives. It was Couples Night at Swerve's. Brainstorm respected the genius of Couples Night. Theme nights always attracted customers, and so did discounts. Couples Night, with all its glittery spark casing decorations and its offer of free drinks for the romantically involved, hit all of the requirements. The one thing that was missing was couples. Swerve always scheduled Couples Night during one of Rewind's more private movie nights, and no one else on the Lost Light had yet managed to show enough emotional vulnerability to actually maintain a relationship. Mechs still flocked to Swerve's on Couples Night, laying bets on who would be the first couple. But Swerve never actually had to give anyone a free drink. Brainstorm had tried to convince Perceptor that lab partners was basically the same as couple, but Perceptor had given him a look. So instead, they were just sitting around at a corner booth with a random assortment of crew members drinking drinks they'd all paid full price for, listening to Ultra Magnus wax on about the illuminating beauty of the Autobot code. Brainstorm really wished Ultra Magnus hadn't decided that Swerves needed supervision. And of course, we cannot forget the use of punctuation in Article 49, subsection 12, paragraph 23, continued Ultra Magnus, gesturing with his energon spritzer. Sublime. I'm sure you all recall the comma in the second sentence. Yeah, for sure, said Brainstorm. Excellent. Ultra Magnus actually patted Brainstorm's shoulder. Frag, was he drunk off of fizzy coolant? Perhaps you would recite it with me. If an Autobot is found to have, through inaction... Hey, said Tailgate, cutting through Brainstorm's half-sparked attempt to mumble along. What made you Max decide to be Autobots? Brainstorm forced himself not to flinch. Tailgate was just curious. He didn't have any reason to doubt Brainstorm's loyalties. Tailgate was all tucked up against Cyclonus' side. The betting pool was pretty sure that they'd be the first to get a discount drink, if anyone ever did. He looked expectantly around the table. I used to work for Sentinel Prime, volunteered Perceptor. The Autobots seemed the safer option to avoid retribution when it came time to change sides. I was swept up in an evacuation, said Wrong. I didn't exactly have much of a choice of which ship I ended up on. Better than no choice at all, snorted Getaway. Am I the only one who joined the Autobots because I believed in our ideals? Asked Ultra Magnus. Surely some of you... Brainstorm, you know the code. Had you at least read it before you joined? Said Brainstorm, 3 drinks in and struggling to remember his own made-up backstory. Well, I... Baby doll, there you are. Whirl skidded to a stop, reached over the table, and actually plucked Brainstorm out of his seat. Come on, let's go get our freebies. Yeah, said Brainstorm, grateful for the rescue. He got halfway across the room before he felt safe enough to ask, What the pit are you talking about? You and me, said Whirl, are gonna get ourselves couples drinks. Oh, we are definitely not, said Brainstorm. Swerve saw through every attempt to scam drinks. There was a reason Perceptor hadn't wanted to give it a shot, and it wasn't just honor or whatever. Pretending to be a couple just led to public mockery once Swerve exposed you. At least Perceptor and Brainstorm could have been believable, lab mates becoming romantic as their optics met over the test tubes. We've got nothing in common, said Brainstorm. You like guns? Whirl waved a pincer at Brainstorm, then turned it on himself. And I basically am a gun, so match made in the Allspark. Come on, just follow my lead. They ended up on the stools in front of the bar, which people always left clear on Couples Night in case a couple happened to wander by. Whirl rapped on the table. Service. Swerve sighed and tore himself away from where he'd been laughing at someone else's joke. Another blue Vasian for you, Brainstorm? And what are you drinking, Whirl? Whatever you've got that's expensive, said Whirl. After all, it's Couples Night. Swerve's hand stopped in the act of pulling down a malachite blend. Couples Night? Yep. Whirl looped an arm around Brainstorm's shoulder. Me and my main squeeze here decided to finally make it public. Swerve leaned forward over the bar, glaring holes at them through his visor. Nah, he said at last. Not buying it. You think a Mac like me couldn't bag a smoking hottie like this? Demanded Whirl. That's prejudice, anti-impurata bias. I've never seen you two even talk to each other, said Swerve. No free drinks. Whirl gave Brainstorm a little shake. Hey, he whispered, you're up. Say something smart. Actually, said Brainstorm, I discovered last week that Whirl and I have the exact same spark frequency. I just knew it was meant to be. It's scientifically proven true love. Ah, Snookums, I love it when you talk like an egghead, said Whirl. It makes me just want to smash you up and turn you into a sexy little omelet. Swerve, give us the drinks. No, said Swerve. But it's Couples Night. Brainstorm was getting into it now, laying one hand to stroke over Whirl's cockpit. It felt weirdly good to have an accomplice, for once. Don't be mean, Swerve. If you're fragging sparkmates, prove it, said Swerve. You can find this story posted in its entirety at archiveofourown.org, along with nearly 40,000 original Transformers transformative works. Give it a read and let the author know what you thought. Comments and kudos encourage authors to keep producing their art. Please subscribe to this channel and you'll know when new videos are posted. As always, comments and suggestions are welcome below. If you would like to suggest a story or a selection from a longer fanfic for reading here on the Iaconian Archives, please view our video from the archivist suggesting content, and you could hear me read some of your favorite Transformers fanfiction. From tonight's author and myself, thank you for your time and support.